Will your avoidant ex come back if you go no contact with them? I think this is a genuinely good question because you've probably heard so many different people tell you that if you go no contact with your ex, they will always come back. And while no contact tends to be the best thing to get your ex back, it is not guaranteed. And this is essentially the case when it comes to an avoidant. And the legitimate answer to this question that I know is going to be so annoying for you is that it depends. The reason why it depends is for this two reasons. The first is how extreme of an avoidant they are. I think time and time again in life, we are led to believe that most things are either black or white. But the reality is that things are typically not all or nothing. There are different shades of it, and that applies to avoidance. You are going to have some avoidants who are more extreme than others, and others that are in between those. And that is especially at play here because if you have more of an extreme avoidant, they are essentially going to look at no contact as their ticket out. They're not going to be bothered by it really. They're just going to go on and do their own thing because this is a very predominant system in them that they are just going to run automatically, and this gets them through having to go through the grieving process or realize the value that you bring into their life, because when they reflect and they allow themselves to feel those unwanted emotions, they begin to see the magnitude of losing someone like you. So if they're on that level, then it tends to not really matter whether you go no contact or not in regards to them coming back. But if you have an avoidant who's maybe on the lesser scale of that avoidant attachment style, they could realize the magnitude of losing you, right? They could begin to see how much you've brought value to them and how much they do love you, and they allow those emotions to be felt. And because of that, they will look at no contact as a wake-up sign. They'll realize like, hey, I need to do something to try to make sure that they don't leave. Like, I want to be in a relationship with them, but I'm allowing this attachment style to take control over me, and it's not letting me express how I genuinely feel about this person. And that's essentially where you could see that person come back. And number two is that they value you and the relationship more than they do being an avoidant. This could be such a powerful thing in them wanting to come back to you when you go no contact, because when you cut off all contact to them and you separate yourself from them, they are left with themselves and they have to contemplate how they were in the relationship. And because of this, they are again faced with that reality that they don't want to lose you, right? This is essentially even works on extreme avoidance too, because if there's a part of them that values that relationship very, very much and they know that they want to be with you, they'll even as an extreme avoidant push that aside and say, you know what, like, I need to figure this out. I need to try to get with this person and genuinely do what I need to do to work through this avoidant attachment style so I can be with this person. But the harsh reality is that that doesn't typically happen, right? Because again, that avoidant attachment style is so very strong. It's strong because they had to be that way in order to protect themselves emotionally when they were young. And even though I pointed out these two factors, there could be a plethora of other different things that could be at play here that could cause this person to either come back into your life or not. But what I want you to hopefully take away from this video is to understand that no contact is not about you getting that avoidant ex back. It is meant for you to get the space away from this person so that you can begin to process what has gone on and begin to actually make legitimate decisions for yourself that align with your values and what is best for you. Because chances are, since you've been in that relationship, you have not done things for yourself. You've not prioritized your feelings and your boundaries and everything that is so sacred to you. You've pushed that aside because you've been so caught up with this person and trying to make it work out. No contact is going to give you that space to prioritize yourself and figuring out what you need to do to heal and move on from this, because you can't control if anyone's going to come back. Everything could line up perfectly for this person to come back and they could just choose not to. And that is completely out of your control. But what is in your control and is always in your control is what you do. And you probably know deep down that the most important thing for you to do right now is to process, move on, and heal from this avoidant relationship. I hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.